Welcome to our viewers on ASI News Broadcast, bringing you the latest top news for today. Al Sharpton, Families of Killed Black Men Lead Justice for All March in Washington. The Reverend Al Sharpton and family members of black men and children killed in Ferguson, Missouri, New York City, and Cleveland led a march in Washington Saturday to protest police treatment of minorities, part of a day of demonstrations nationwide. The Justice for All march to Capitol Hill comes after grand juries chose not to indict police officers in the killings of Michael Brown in Ferguson and Eric Garner in Staten Island. Those episodes have served as a rallying cry for those pushing for a major overhaul in local policing procedures. Roughly 10,000 protesters gathered for the demonstration in Washington, including Brown's and Garner's family members and relatives of Florida teenager Trayvon Martin and Cleveland's Tamir Rice, both killed in cases that sparked widespread protest. Sharpton's National Action Network organized the Washington event. The civil rights leader turned television host has remained in constant contact with the White House about Obama administration efforts to address the racially charged controversies. President Obama has called for heightened oversight of the militarization of local police departments and more funding for body cameras for cops. And Attorney General Eric Holder has released new guidelines on racial profiling, saying federal agencies also cannot target people based on their gender, religion, or sexual orientation. However, protesters contend that Washington isn't doing enough to force police departments to alter how they detain minorities suspected of crimes. Saturday's march is just the beginning, said NAACP D.C. Criminal Justice Chair Aaron Johnson, who called for police accountability and sound community policing standards that combat racial profiling. Demonstrations are being held in New York City, San Francisco, and Boston, among other major American cities. And Sharpton insisted the rallies would continue until Congress acted. "We will be back," he said, over and over again. Victory declared as source reveals DOJ will not force James Risen testimony. Supporters say Risen's fight has shown that journalists and the rest of us must not give an inch to government officials who are trying to undermine the First, Fourth, and Fifth Amendments. According to a senior Justice Department official, Attorney General Eric Holder has ordered that if the Pulitzer Prize-winning investigative reporter is called to testify, that he must not be required to reveal, quote, information about the identity of his source, end quote. Risen has previously vowed that he would go to jail rather than reveal the person who provided information for his 2006 book, State of War, in which he wrote about a botched Clinton-era CIA mission to sabotage Iran's nuclear weapons program. The unnamed official reportedly told NBC that the government will still subpoena Risen to testify in order to confirm that he had an agreement with a confidential source and that he did write the book. Though, quote, no final decision has been made about exactly how to proceed, end quote, the official reportedly said the DOJ will no longer seek what Risen's most concerned about revealing. Norman Solomon, Executive Director of the Institute for Public Accuracy and co-founder of RootsAction.org, which coordinated the petition campaign We Support James Risen Because We Support a Free Press, credited the victory to both Risen's pledge of resistance and the fierce campaign that rallied in his support. This is a big victory for defying illegitimate authority, Solomon said. The Bush and Obama administrations have tried to coerce and intimidate James Risen with a series of subpoenas beginning in early 2008. Nearly 7 years later, a crucial lesson for his refusal to back down is that journalists and the rest of us must not give an inch to government officials who are trying to undermine the First, Fourth, and Fifth Amendments. He added, freedom of press, confidential communications, and due process remain under fierce attack. The only solution is to fight back. The government trial against former CIA employee Jeffrey Sterling, who is accused of leaking information about the failed CIA operation, is set to begin next month. A federal judge ordered for the Department of Justice to decide within 1 week whether or not it will subpoena Risen. Thanks for watching. Those were the latest news brought to you from the American Studies Institute from Tehran. You can also check our website at www.asipress.us.